Hello, I am tatocat and welcome to my channel. Today we were playing Lucid9. Last time we were exploring the different rides at the amusement park. And we stopped at playing a game of Blackmail and Intrigue to win a trade collection. And that's where we left off. So, let's continue. They crouch forward slightly like they're going to physically lunge at each other's throats. A moment of silence passes between them, even as the others in the group continue campaigning to one another. The Misaki and Yahiko both burst into action, practically screaming at the top of their lungs. Corporations will mandate required vacation time for employees with families. Social Security will redefine parental negligence. For a moment, they only stand there equally surprised at the other's statement. Vacation time? Parental negligence? Why do I suddenly feel like I know nothing about them? They couldn't be playing around, right? No judging from their expressions, they're completely serious. I shouldn't be surprised that there's bound to be a lot of stuff that I don't know. My friends have their own lives, and I have mine. In fact, they probably don't have any idea how Shigure and I know each other. That's fine. Some things are none of their business. Some things are none of my business. It's all well and good. But it still really bothers me. I know it's childish. I know that I made myself stay out of this game. No one kicked me out. I could learn just as much about Misaki as Yahiko did. Really, I have no one to blame but myself. Your strike found an adequate mark, son of Ikari. As did yours, daughter of Kazuhaya. You have trained well. Right. There's a samurai duel going on. However, I can see that your bow found a vital organ, while mine only made its mark on a limb. I can see this round. She presses her finger against his phone to register her print. The moment she does so, a tone sounds by the attendant's booth. Congratulations, Yahiko Yukari. You have won your election unanimously. All seriousness melts from Yahiko's face, replaced with shining pride. I'm a dictator now? You are. Oh boy. I really thought I would feel more awesome. Well, you get a prize. 1 free year of Limb Cloud Premium. I don't know what this means, but it causes Misaki to stand bolt upright and lean forward in anticipation. Clearly she's regretting that she conceded. Oh, thanks, but I already have free premium. It's what happens when you're a son of two rulers. Actually, when I think about it, it's really likely that Yahiko is the son of some influential people. From the sound of it, people who work at Lemonscape. He has an insane number of shoes that are all designer brands made in Italy. He's attending the academy without any scholarships, judging from his grades. And he doesn't seem to have any financial worries, or life worries in general. Maybe he really is the son of some higher-ups at Lemonscape. I'll take it. Then go ahead. She eagerly retrieves the gift card from the attendant as the rest of us are ushered out the door. Elizabeth seems refreshed on the activity. Rui looks like she enjoyed herself. Akira and Masato, on the other hand, there's always a tomorrow. Hell yeah. And they're fine. Manipulating people doesn't seem to be their kind of game. Actually, what surprised me the most was that Yahiko did so well. Not only was he efficient in his research, but he knew which arguments to use and how to present them. Say, Yahiko, you haven't gone to, I don't know, prep school or anything, right? Prep school? You know, where you learn etiquette, politics, and how to talk to people. Or more specifically, how to manipulate people. Why would I do that? My natural genius is enough. It's just when the mini rich, so be born in Ikari, my dear minion. My blood is superior. Right am suddenly sorry I asked. Sorry, I'm here. Should we get going? She looks pointedly at me, like I'm supposed to decide on our next destination. Wait, am I? Well, no one else in the group is budging, so I guess it's up to me. It has been up to me since the beginning. It shouldn't be a shock at this point, Yama. We were just choosing everything, and the points to what we choose doesn't really seem to matter. We're just choosing them at this point. On the other hand, it is helping me learn more about the characters, and I guess that's the point. But I really do hate when there's an illusion of choice, and the choice doesn't really matter. We chose laser tag. A large dome at the corner of the map catches my eye. I tap it for more details. Ultimate Laser Tag Center, brought to you by Limniskate Site Code. Limniskate Site Code? That's the glasses, right? They're goggles with interactive displays. It gives you stats and targeting cursors on the mini-map, so it feels like you're in a video game. Really? Yeah, we gotta give it a try. And he races off to the laser center without a second glance. I guess we're going there. Thankfully, no one seems to have any objections, so we arrive at the attraction without any interruptions. This is the same as the other place. We were admitted fairly quickly, maybe because our group is large enough to single-handedly create a game. Okay, we need 2 team captains. Hell yeah, anyone who wants to win, join me. We'll be great at not only shooting stuff, but solving stuff. Join the Harvard Assassination Crew today. Harvard Assassination Crew? What kind of name is that? Well, that's one team captain. Who shall dare contest him? He bellows this out like an announcer of some twisted reality show. I will. It's preferable to following an incompetent leader. Her enthusiasm is overwhelming. Do I get to choose who I'm with? Because I don't want Elizabeth. Well, the captains have been selected, so without further ado, it's time to start the draft. Captain Kurgai, you may pick your first minion. Rui. Well, that was quick. I get where he's coming from. Rui's thoughtful, but can be quick on her feet. She'd be a good selection. At the same time, I don't see the rush to pick her first. It's not like Elizabeth would even select her. A fair choice. Hayata is now aligned with the Harvard Assassination Crew. Captain Oshiro, it's your turn. You can pick 2 minions as per drafting rules. Official drafting rules? For laser tag? It can't hurt. Oshiro, the clock's ticking. Elizabeth rolls her eyes but glances between the remaining participants. Misaki. That's Kazuhaya for, the... Resistance. We're the Resistance. What? Why the Resistance? I've always wanted to be part of a Resistance. Kazuhaya has joined the Resistance. We're not the Resistance. I want to be part of a Resistance. It's up to me to choose whether you're in the Resistance or not. So, it is a Resistance? We're not a Resistance. Thankfully, the clamor dies down when Yahiko raises a hand. You may pick one more minion unless you wish to give up your advantage. Never. Considering that getting her here was akin to pulling teeth, she's remarkably engaged in all the activities. I choose. Her eyes pass over Akira and flinches at Yahiko. For a few seconds, they flicker between me and Irie. Oh, I didn't want to be on her team. Yama, get over here. Everyone falls to silence. For a long moment, all that can be heard is the faint hum of the overhead lights. You're serious. What? You weren't exactly happy with Yama earlier today. Can't I pick who I want? I'm the captain. You want him? Not like that. I just want to win. Is that so wrong? No, nothing wrong at all. Guess we better get the show on the road, eh, folks? Captain Kuragane, your selection. You may choose 2 minions. Well, ain't you playing? That ain't it. Come on over to the Harvard assassination crew. Sweet. As Yahiko skips on over, Rui gestures wildly to Masato, tiptoeing to whisper in his ear. After a brief second, he nods. And second one is Irie. Irie only thinks for a moment, but at Rui's friendly wave, she travels to Masato's group, which places Karube on the resistance by default. It's not the resistance. So, without further ado, let's get this game underway. Don your gear, players. We'll see you on the fields of justice. With that, Masato leads his group to snatch up lightweight vests and goggles and dash into the back room. Elizabeth gathers us into a tight circle, her expression unreadable. Right. I believe it would be of optimal efficiency to place 2 members on assault, 1 on defense, and 1 as an intermediary. Misaki, what do you think of defense? Probably because she trusts Misaki the most. Excellent idea. Good. Yama and I shall lead assault. She's going to use me as a shield. Probably because she wants to keep an eye on me. Akira. Leave it to me. Top tier intermediary coming right up. What does an intermediary do? As we have 2 members on assault, you'll mainly be covering for Misaki. However, Misaki will generally stay in one location while you run patrols. Gotcha. Mediocre class intermediary coming right up. Elizabeth clearly ignores this. Instead, she heads to the rack, tossing vests and goggles at us. Yama. Yes, Your Highness. Don't be stupid. Yes, Your Highness. Although that might prove to be too difficult for you. I feel inspired already. Right. We wasted enough time. Let's go. Wait, what about the team chant? We don't need one. She moves to the door, but Akira tugs on her elbow. We can't start a war without a chant. It would be a travesty. Apparently, it would be a travesty if we use our time efficiently. Oh, come on. Team bonding is just as important as tactics and individual skill. Fine. But make it quick. Akira salutes her with a cheery wink and gathers us into a huddle. She speaks breathlessly, her eyes shining with enthusiasm. A day may come when the courage of men fails. Quickly, I said. Blah, blah, blah. This day we fight. Why do I feel like this is part of the song? Long live the resistance. Oh heck, why not? Long live the resistance. Let's go, go, go. Deploy, deploy, deploy. Ooh. So anybody of you played a Rimpy game that when you click the center mouse button, it explodes, right? So you can see the background. So this is not a background. Look, not a background. That's weird. I guess we'll just leave the words here then. So this is kind of cool looking. This is like a lot of little detail. District. And then ammo. Is our health going to go down? And we can see who our team members are. We bolt into the dark room in our vests. As we're swallowed by blackness, I slip my goggles over my eyes. The interference immediately switches on, providing me with slick infographics and motion cursors. In the upper left, I see team portraits that light up as each member speaks. Looks like site code comes with comms. There's also map, health count, ammo count, and location notifier, except I'm missing a bullet. Meh, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whoa. These are stunning. Oh, I've got to get me one of these. Presently a hum washes over the large chamber, and the walls come to life with images of the Academy's cafeteria. Whoa, a live simulation? Limnitsuke is truly ahead of their time. Let's go to positions. Despite her brisk words, her face is open in wonder. Seems like she's also a fan. As we head to our places, the intercom cuts in with a mechanical-sounding female voice. Welcome to the Field Blue team. This is a standard capture of the flag game. Best of 1. Your Limnitsuke side code displays your health. Let it fall too far, and you shall be disqualified for the rest of the match. You should also note that your ammunition is limited. Use it wisely. As Akira and Misaki split towards our base on the rooftop, Elizabeth motions me to the corner of the perimeter. Oh, are we gonna make out? Stop it. This is a way to their base. A quick glance at the minimap confirms her claim. When the game starts, we go together, but cautiously. Isn't it better to attack from 2 different directions? Who's captain again? Oh, I see. You do want to make out. Stop it. Bloody galvanizing mug off your trolley stalking great ego. I can only grin at her as the intercom flickers to life. All players are within this team zone. The game will begin in 10 seconds. Cheerio to you, good chap. 8 seconds. I say this ought to be a jolly good show. 5 seconds. I'm right knackered, I am. Yama. You called, Your Highness? She pauses for a moment, clearly struggling to keep hold of herself. Do you know why I put you on the salt with me? To make me miserable? Because for some reason, the tiniest part of me believed that you might actually be great at it. Her words freeze me to the ground. My mind runs blank. I can only stare at her in disbelief. She thinks I can do something? 0 seconds. The match has begun. A high-toned bell rings through the room. Elizabeth turns her attention to the corridors. Let's go. She heads to the courtyard. Even as I follow her, my thoughts are jumbled in my head. Great at it? Great at anything? How could I be great at anything? I can't even do anything mildly well. Great. And why would Elizabeth tell me so? The girl who hates my guts. The girl whose guts I hate. Why would she say that I could be great at something? Stop. She throws out her hand. It collides with my chest, sending a rush of sparks up my spine. I quickly step back, shaking the feeling off. There, Yahiko Ikari. I turn to where she's pointing. Yahiko is seated at the artificial ledge, its gun on his lap. How foolish. He won't even be able to shoot back. Yes, we better take care of him. This feels like a trap. I swiftly raise my gun, but Elizabeth slaps at my hand. Hold your gun properly. Excuse me, Your Highness. I didn't realize that laser tag had rules of combat. It can only help your accuracy, you know. She raises her own gun, her voice lowering to concentrated whisper. Steady breathing, proper stance, and grip are important, but a good trigger pull is what can make it or break it. Her posture shifts carefully, as if gunning someone down was a common occasion. With laser-like focus, she finally moves her finger to the trigger. One sharp flick of the finger, the trigger clicks and Yahiko immediately jolts up, hands flying to his goggles. Yow, somebody shot me. That should have been a fatal shot. Laser tag would be really short with fatal shots. Oh, be useful and shoot something. I obligingly poke my gun out of the hole and fire blindly. Aha, there you are. Not what I had in mind. You have a mind? Shut up and run. We race through the obstacles as shots sound all around. Finally, we find an out-of-the-way corner where we pause to catch our breaths. Right. We must have a new plan. Such as? Yahiko's the only person on the fence. We passed no intermediaries on our way here. Paired with Misato's personality, it's highly likely that the three people are on assault. So, Misaki will be overrun. They probably have the flag by now. Oddly enough, I can respect her at that moment. She seems to know what she's doing. Well, where does that leave us? We'll have to kill them on their way back. Akira, come in. What's your status? Akira. Right, their comms must have been shot before they could alert us. We're on our own, Yama. So, what's the plan? You take the red flag and sprint back to our base as soon as possible. I'll hold them off for a while I can. But that's suicide. She draws her chin up and gestures to the entrance. Then it shall be a worthy sacrifice. Now, go. And don't look back. Every passing second is a second wasted. The pulsing warble of laser guns draws closer. I obligingly dive around the corner and scoop the flag into my arm as Elizabeth screams. Oh, Elizabeth. Maybe she's not my favorite character, but I do respect her for this. Long live the resistance. Maybe she's taking this a little too seriously. Well, I guess it's up to me to get the flag to our base before Masato gets back to his. As I sprint at full pace, wind blowing through the stimulated campus as I hear Elizabeth goading the other team into chasing her. With the flag in tow, I haphazardly make my way back to the base. I only got so much time before Elizabeth is shot. I'm hit. Looks like Masato actually left someone behind as a guard. Oh, and that's a good one. It's Irie. I swing around just in time to see a small figure diving behind cover. Crap, my health is at 50%. At the very least, I've got a few chances left. Admittedly, laser tag would be pretty boring if we followed one shot, one kill system. My grip on the pistol tightens as I peer for my little refuge. I lay down my aim so that if the guard emerges, I have a chance to take them down first. Except you're dealing with a ninja. I can't react fast enough. Neither of those shots hit when the guard darted from cover to cover. 4 shots left, and it feels like I couldn't hit them even if my gun was full. I'm down to 25%. of my health, maybe 20 meters away from capturing the flag. After all, Elizabeth's hard-earned work too. Screw it. I charged to the back table, ignoring the danger behind me, standing around like that just is going to get me killed. I dive behind the nearest piece of cover as I hear the enemy's laser pistol flare into life. It's down to the wire now. Final chance, right? I stand up, blindly firing remaining shots at the figure just a few feet away. The figure drops their gun in defeat as a dead icon pops up over them. I'm dead. With that, Irie places her gun on the nearby bench and pulls out a peach to munch on it without second thought. Apparently getting killed doesn't mean much. That was somewhat anticlimactic, especially given how lucky I was to have a shot her despite me firing haphazardly. Figures can't be choosers though. I promptly plant the red flag at her stand. It glows in response, and after a second of humming clicks into place, a clear high tone brings the game to a close. Game over. Victory to blue. The hell? Please exit the room. But I got the flag. Please stop arguing with the artificial voice and exit the room. Masato's grumbling is prominent, but I notice dark shapes converging at the exit. Guess I better follow them. It takes a few moments to adjust to the blinding light, so everyone seems to be fairly happy. Everyone except for Masato, of course. We're the rightful winners. Well, we would have been if someone didn't go on a wild goose chase instead of returning the flag. I was gone as soon as I caught up to the trash talker, I mean. Then you probably shouldn't complain. Amidst the commotion, I noticed that Elizabeth is strangely quiet. I was expecting her to gloat with her victory, maybe toss in a few snappish better-than-thou comments here and there. But she's just standing by the map, a faraway look in her eyes, as her lips pulled into a smile. Well, it couldn't be helped. We have the best leader, you know. I bet Yama took charge. Nope. Oh no. We were led to victory beneath the banner of the wise Elizabeth Oshiro. She came up with all those fancy tactics and everything. Everyone's surprised, Elizabeth blushes slightly and lowers her head. Really? Good job. Thank you. Somehow those simple words feel more than a compliment. Yeah, let's keep going. I'll get my revenge. I'm counting on it. Thankfully, the conflict feels teasing rather than biting. I return to the map with a smile to pick up our next destination. Tech showcase. Again, I still don't understand the point of having a choice. My eyes are drawn to a large, oddly shaped building at the center of the map. It's clearly the biggest attraction in the park. What exactly do they have at this tech expo? You mean, what don't they have? You can pretty much find every Lumniscape device on display there, even their new tech that hasn't been released yet. Considering the building size, I can see how they can accommodate it all. It says they're holding some kind of lottery drawing for weed. For weed? I double check to see whether I read that correctly. Surely they don't mean what I'm thinking, do they? What? Why would they be giving that away at a drawing? I'm puzzled as well. Someone mind explaining what this WEED is? WEED is just an acronym for Wall Electric Energy Director. It's new Lumniscape cell phone that can run on power from wall socket even without a battery. Okay, but they should have come up with a better acronym. That sounds like an underwhelming feature to be so hyped about. We should go. It's the opportunity to introduce me to the world of technology, Yama. I feel like you just want to go for this weed. Not at all. I only suggest this for your sake. If you stay ignorant about today's technological innovations, you're no better than a Neanderthal. They did invent the wheel, so it's not like they weren't smart. In response to my sarcasm, Misaki looks at me dead in the eye. It's the same glare she used to give me before she dragged me somewhere against my will. We're going. And just as I predicted, she takes a hold of my arm, pulling me towards the direction of the expo. What about the others? Oh, I'm sure they'll follow. No need to worry about them. Once we dart into the building, I immediately notice that the area is way too crowded for my liking. A stream of people push their way through the check-in lines, eager to receive admission. The scene is reminiscent of a herd of wildebeest walking a water hole. I glance back to check our group as they're nowhere in sight. I think we lost the others. Good. With them gone, we have a better chance of winning a lottery drawing. I don't know if you noticed, Miki, but the odds aren't exactly in our favor. You must first play the game to win the game, Yama. That sounds like something a gambling addict would say. Ignoring my comment, she quickly takes her place in line. I'm a little surprised that she doesn't force her way into the front. Luckily, it isn't long before we're called next. The attendant prompts us to hold our wrists, giving us a pair of metallic wristbands, and printed on them are a set of numbers, which I presume are for the drawing. I take another hesitant glance around before entering the expo. There are way too many people here. All of the non-existing people. Do you want to hold hands? What? Why? To prevent us from being separated. Why else? Without waiting for an answer, Misaki intertwines her slender fingers around mine and quickly leads me through the crowds. This feels familiar. Her firm grip, her brisk pace, her resolve despite my hesitation. After all these years, Misaki hasn't changed at all, has she? She's still the same zealous girl who would drag me everywhere she went. A sense of nostalgia causing me to grin. Honestly, I've missed this. Misaki suddenly stops dead in her tracks, breaking me from my reminiscence. This looks interesting. She stands before a large rack displaying an array of peculiar-looking goggles. There's an exaggerated curve to their lenses that makes them appear bulky. After examining them for a moment, Misaki grabs a pair and tries them on. They practically cover half of her face. I'm barely able to stifle a snort. What is it? See for yourself. She removes her goggles and slips them onto my face. They feel awkwardly large and must look equally as ridiculous. There are 3 video monitors displayed inside the goggles lens, giving me a panoramic view of my surroundings. I feel Misaki's hand brush against my cheek as she adjusts something on the side of the goggles. As she does so, the cameras zoom in and out of focus. They're called dragonfly lenses. They're sort of panoramic binoculars. They're kind of impractical to wear though. I remove the goggles and hand them back to her. She twirls them between her fingers, inspecting them closely. Maybe they were built to be sturdy? I guess that would make sense. Then, let's try them out, shall we? Misaki draws back her arm, suddenly hurls them on the ground. Thankfully, they don't seem to break. I can't help but gasp in surprise. What the heck did you think you're doing? I just wanted to see if they were sturdy, duh. You didn't have to smash them on the ground, Miki. What if they had broke? Then we would have been in deep trouble, wouldn't we? This girl, I swear, she does these kinds of things just to mess with me. Before I can express my annoyance, a nearby commotion grabs my attention. I wonder what that's about. With mouths agape, a group of people are fixated on a large object hovering a few meters above their heads. It zigzags haphazardly in the air as it comes dangerously close from colliding into them. From where I'm standing, it almost looks like a drone. Watch out! In one swift motion, the drone changes its course and flies straight towards us. I'm barely able to push Misaki out of the way as it spirals into the display rack. Shards of metal and glass of the drone slide across the floor, but the goggles remain relatively undamaged. It seems that they are pretty sturdy. Are you two alright? As Misaki and I regain composure, a woman jogs over. Judging by her uniform, she must be one of the attendants running the expo. Yeah, we're fine, I think. I look over at Misaki and she nods her head in confirmation. The woman breathes a sigh of relief at this, bowing her head apologetically. I'm terribly sorry. We were performing a demonstration and the drone stopped responding to our remote commands. A demonstration? Oh yes, would you like to visit our booth? The least I can do is give you a demonstration of our tech. I'm not sure how that would compensate for almost killing us with one of your drones. Of course! Misaki, however, doesn't seem to mind. Wonderful. If you two would please follow me, I'll show you the way. After navigating our way past the crowds, we come to a stop at a large military-themed booth. It's impressive to say the least. There are a number of electronics scattered about, but I haven't a clue to what any of them are supposed to be. It's almost like someone just dumped a pile of scrap parts together and claimed that it was state-of-the-art equipment. Or maybe I really am a Neanderthal who doesn't understand technology. Meh. The attendant places the drone, or rather what's left of it, on the counter. She takes a moment to examine the inside of the machine. With a solemn expression, she mumbles something under her breath. The Ikaris are definitely not going to like this. I just hear her say the Ikaris? Excuse me. Do you mind telling us about them? About who? The Ikaris. Oh, they're part of Lemonade Skate's board of directors. This expo is sponsored by them, believe it or not. They're board of directors of Lemonade Skate. If Ahiko is actually related to them, then why aren't most people aware of it? Unless they don't share a lot about their personal lives with the public. That seems pretty plausible, actually. Yes, because, if everyone's like, oh look, I'm this rich person, this is my child, this is where my child goes to school, that child would get kidnapped indefinitely. Are you two ready to see something interesting? Before I can think more on it, the attendant pops a large tablet on the counter for us to see. She expertly swipes her palm across the surface, resulting in an assortment of color patterns to dance across the screen. The patterns gradually warp into the digital face of a man. Misaki gapes at it admirably. This is Max. Say hello, Max. Hello. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Contrast to his appearance, the inflections of Max's voice sound very human-like. It's almost a bit disconcerting coming from something that looks so artificial. Max is one of our newly developed AI programs. AI? As in artificial intelligence? Correct. While we made some advancement in this last few years, we're only scratching the surface of what's possible with AI technology. Max is a product of their research so far. Misaki's eyes brighten in excitement as she examines the machine more closely. What was he created for exactly? He'll serve as an automated assistant for law enforcement in the future. An assistant? Max collects massive amounts of data from various sources and uses the information to determine suspected criminals. He would then relay his findings to the user in charge of suggest what action they should take based on the situation. But isn't it possible for him to mistake someone for being a criminal? Highly improbable. If anything, Max would be more efficient than humans. His judgment wouldn't be clouded by emotion. I see. Curious, Misaki reaches to touch the monitor. Forgive me for asking, but may I have your name? Startled by the machine's sudden inquiry, Misaki jumps back, holding tightly onto my shoulder. Huh? Oh, it's Misaki Kazuhaya. And how shall I address your partner? He directs his questions at me. We're not partners. It's nice to meet you. We're not partners. Is he purposely being sarcastic, or are machines even capable of doing that? Thank you for your cooperation. I have stored your names for future reference. Forgive me, but I must shut down in order to perform necessary system updates. Oh, of course. Have a good resting, Max. The attendant promptly shuts off his power and carefully places him back behind the counter. When she pops back up, she beckons us over towards the corner where a large telescopic device sits by itself. This is a laser microphone. While they're used for surveillance, I sometimes use them for eavesdrop on my coworkers. That doesn't seem right. She conspicuously winks at Misaki as she hands her the headphones. The attendant then aims the microphone towards one of the other booths. The device uses a laser beam that detects sound and vibrations in distant objects. It then interprets that data through the headphones, allowing the person to hear conversations that would otherwise be inaudible from a far distance. Can you hear it? Voices. Can you hear what they're saying? Misaki suddenly removes the headphones and quickly hands them back to the attendant, her cheeks flushing bright red. What'd you hear? Nothing. Let's try something else. That sure doesn't sound like nothing. If I say it's nothing, it's nothing. Thankfully for her, the building's PA system crackles to life. We are now announcing the winning numbers for the lottery drawing. If you have the numbers 1623, please report to the front desk. Thank you. Immediately, Misaki eagerly checks her wristband. Looks like you were right. You didn't win? No, I wasn't even close. For a moment, she looks like she's about to cry, but she then throws her hands up in exasperation. This sucks. This lotto must be rigged. I don't think they would do that, Miki. And I was so excited to win the Wii. As if remembering something, she turns to me with a scary gleam in her eyes. Let me hear this. Sure. But I doubt I won either. Regardless, Misaki quickly pulls up my sleeve. I don't believe it. You actually won. Wait, really? Let us make haste. We haven't a moment to spare. And just like that, she begins pulling me to the front desk. I'm barely able to give the attendant a slight wave as we speed off. After one of the staff confirms my number, they hand me a small box. On it, Limney Speed's infamous company logo decorates its cover. Honestly, it's not like I really need another phone. My current one works just fine. So this model would likely just collect dust somewhere in my apartment. I handed Misaki the box. She can't seem to decide whether she should immediately tear it open or show some restraint. Okay, we will stop here for now. We got one more choice on this theme park thing after this, and we'll see what happens with this whole theme parky thing. Alright, I am tatocat. If you haven't liked, comment, and subscribe, have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.